R2D2. Waiting and vaping. That thing keeps changing. Doing bad stuff. Where is everybody? As I said, screw you, bitch. You didn't show up twice. We don't believe you. Well, somebody liked it, but no one's here. Oh, the stupid chat. Stupid chat. Lord. Yes, I showed up. Hey. How come I didn't tell myself I'm live? Oh, come on. It always... There we go. Thank you. Turning down my volume. Watching myself. Okay. Oh, I can't do it. Wait, can I check? I'm trying something. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? I'm just messing around. Thank you. Oh, another Goodwill buy. Everything I got's from Goodwill. I don't go anywhere else anymore. I hit my second favorite one, which is a brand new one. I'm going to make these things earrings. These little foam balls. I got to find my little baby hoops and just hang them. I make little Christmas earrings. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. Technical difficulties abound. And I found out why. Told you they were hiding something. It's a conspiracy. We're never going to get internet over here. I was having all kinds of problems yesterday. It's because they were getting ready to send off more Starlinks. I don't know when the next one's going up, but someone just sent up more satellites. It must be India. India's getting into this and giving SpaceX a run for their money. So now we're going to have two sets of satellites up there. We already have, like, what is it, 10,000 already? How aren't these things just crashing into each other, circling the Earth? Now India is going to have their whole separate Starlink set of stuff. So they've been explaining what's going on up there. I thought, great. The more we tried to get on, the worse it was getting. All I could do was watch Netflix. I couldn't get on Paramount because that required getting on the internet. Couldn't watch Apple TV. Could not get on YouTube. It wouldn't even come up. Everything was just little gray blinking boxes. The whole channel was buffering. And then you get on for a few minutes and then the whole thing would go dark again. So something was interfering with YouTube and the internet. We've also had a very busy Air Force base lately, so I don't know. And then I had some emails, text messages that didn't go out and then failed. it said it went out, but then it failed, and it came back that they never went out. So I was trying to text Stacy days ago last week and before then, and it was like nobody was getting my text messages. They could be busy too, you know. That's hard. I'm sorry. We'll come on Wednesday. You could tell us about yours. uh, what they say about the brain MRI? Was everything clear up there? Because I know that's coming next. And they're going to work their way and say, well, you're in bad shape. And it was like a semi-wasted visit. They never called in the prescription they were supposed to, and they were doing it as I was walking out the door at 10 o'clock this morning. Hydrocodone. She's going to give me 3 pills a day for 14 days to see how the kidney deals with it. And she was doing it right away. That she was running out the door at the end of the visit because she was calling it in, wanting to get it done first thing this morning. They never called it in. So I never took the Celebrex. I was sitting here waiting all day for her to call it the pain pills, and I never took anything. I wanted to choke her. I wanted to try it without it. I'm supposed to. Oh. Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay. Yeah, they know where like stuff is. I was just rethinking something with my mother and the stuff. She had a cyst on the back right over here, and it was fairly big. She had it for years and years. She thought it was from hitting her head when she was a kid, but she'd always kind of remembered having it there. Mm. But they know where on the head stuff grows. That doesn't mean anything. It was just like a giant pimple, basically, is what it is. Just a sebaceous cyst. So that's good. They were just flipping me out a little bit when they called me back in at 5:30 after being there at 2 o'clock. So they got to see when I talked to them today. Um, the last one that we took came out better. So they got a decent look at it. And yes, the reason why it's becoming increasingly hard to see it and it looks fuzzy and blurry is the involuntary the swelling with the heartbeat will make it kind of look like it's moving. But also the fibrosis growing over everything is making everything blurry. Hello, tea lover. How you doing? I was just waiting to see if a few more came by. Um, so we went through all my scans again with the new doctor, and they have a blood doctor they're working with. My creatine was a little bit too low, so we're gonna have try only for a 2-week basis to see how my liver and my kidneys deal with the hydrocodone. Um, because my kidneys are still functioning, but not as good as I'd like them to be they cannot write out those medications are off the table. The liver, the kidney, and the blood tests were nowhere near good enough to even think about taking one of the calcium supplements. Um, yeah, hey Sunshine, how you doing? We're very cysty people. There's two. I have one here and one back here that he says are cysts, but he's not sure. I used to get them as a kid, and my mom, I had a lot. The breast doctor, all of my breast doctors, before they started shrinking, uh, always told me that it would be extremely hard because my mother had the same problem too, that we have very lumpy breasts. And we have cysts. I had cysts on my ovaries. I had cysts kind of all over. Fibroids and stuff. So if you tend to grow fibroids, they kind of pop up all over the place. And that's why they're so relentless about the scans and going to the same people and the same machines so that you know what's what, you know. So yeah, that one's nothing. It's been there for 20 years. Just leave it alone. You know, if it's bothering you, we'll take it out. If not, just leave it there. Which is better, I think. But, let me see. So, any of the calcium replacement bone growth things, she pulled that off the table today. She said, we would like to start you, 2 years ago, maybe more. I said, yeah, I know. I said, well, I just got that scan done. They're going to see if they can find the original one that I had done. It's got to be in the system somewhere. They're going to see if they can dig it out just for reference to see how fast things have been declining. But yeah, they're very worried about that. So the medicine is out that grows your bones. We're going to try the hydrocodone, something mid-level, to see, she says, because I'm not going to give you Tylenol and all that other stuff. She goes, we're going to start right in the middle. We're going to pass over Percocet and the Percodans, and I'm going to go right to hydrocodone. And from there, if that's not going to work, we're going to have to skip over the Oxycontins and go right to Vicodin. That stuff makes me vomit. It's awful. Yeah, I know, I gotta start. It's like, no matter what I eat, no matter what now last week I had crazy ketoacidosis. I took 2 sips of soda and my stomach blew up. I was only able to eat like once a day for the last 2 weeks. It gets crazy. Then it goes, now the last 2 days I've eaten anything I wanted to and nothing's gone wrong. The sugar's back to doing whatever it's doing again. I keep trying the hypoglycemic diet and all the other ones. So I'll have to also see if it changes anything with peeing. Is it slowing it down? Is it speeding it up? Then they gave me, some of the doctors hand this stuff out if you have the Walgreens card. Some of them keep it in the office, different ones. Dr. Bakshi, his does this kind of thing too, and so did my breast surgeon. A lot of the surgeons do it. They gave me the TENS machine today. This thing's insane. It went up so high, it was like I was frozen. This thing's crazy. It is crazy. I still don't even, I'm figuring out how it works, and they want me to take the blood pressure 3 times a day, also while I'm taking the medication, to see if it's messing with my blood pressure, the hydrocodone, the opioids. What was the other problem? A couple of other things in the blood. That's why they're getting what's going to happen now is that the surgeon, the bone specialist, and the blood doctor are all going to get together in the next 14 days, go over if there's any other possibility of what they can do, because they want to get a look. They want to pull the spine. When we found the lesions 3 years ago, the first ones, they want to see how big and how fast they grew, if they can. So they're going to be busy going through all kinds of crazy stuff, and see if there's anything. No anti-inflammatories. We can't even use those, so they don't know what they're going to do for the herniated discs and stuff I have in the neck. That's why it's so swollen. Some of what they can't see, too, swelling will show up just as like a solid mass. So it's difficult for them to tell underneath the swelling how much, and how they can't even see if this is the swollen part and there's a tumor in here inside the throat. They won't be able to see it at all. This is at the end. Confirmation today that yes, I am stage 4 on at least 2 or 3 of the cancers, which would be the breast, the lungs, and most likely the kidney. That's what's attached itself to my spine. That does not happen until they reach stage 4. So she said, let's be on the safe side and just say it's all 3. If not, the liver does it too. And we will go with beginning colon cancer at probably stage 3, because that doesn't go to the SI joint unless it's about to go. So they would figure somewhere between middle stage 3 to end stage 3, because the symptoms, when I had to sit down and explain everything, it was a long visit. This thing does, it stops your bodily functions. What happened with my lung in the last 2-3 weeks was at the same time that the bottom of my hip was hurting really bad. So my hip started, then my lung started, and it started on the right side only, and then it flipped to the left, which is exactly what the doctor says, as when the nerves are breaking, it's on the box where they're breaking right. Whatever was pressing or swollen or out of place that day could have been pressing on one of the transmission wires from the brain down that tells your lungs to breathe, your heart to beat, okay? Something went wrong, and my lung collapsing is either the fibrosis is getting really bad again, which this started in the beginning, and it has not happened for a long time now. Over almost 3 years for the last time my lung collapsed. Either the fibrosis, of course, is growing, or it's at a point where it's expanding and it's temporarily shutting down my lungs while it's doing its thing, or Something's pressing on the nerve and it's shutting down my lung. That's how you end up like Stephen Hawking. You're on a machine for the breathing to just keeping you alive because your wiring died. You got a break. Your dog chewed through your extension cord, and that's why the TV's not working. You know, it's cutting the electrical line and telling everything the body what to do. I'm gonna check up here a minute. Yeah, I know some people are cannot drink with those Tylenol. I watched Richard. I cannot tell you over the years. He would not listen to me. He drove me nuts with that. He'd come home, he'd have a headache, he'd pop 2 or 3 Tylenol and then pour himself 2 shots of tequila and just sit and drink. And I'm like, you can't do that, right? Yeah, but what a disaster. And that's what I'm worried about. So, well, they're discussing this for the next 14 days till I go back again. But I think I'm going back on 17 days. Um, they're listing me as stage 4 palliative care as of today. Yeah. They, out of all of the doctors and whatever they're thinking, because everything's kind of going right around the way Shan's said it would. Coming up on the 1500 days, that's Christmas Eve. That's my first deadline on the lungs. They said that they've gotten a lot of the cops and firemen up to 2,800 days. But they won't monitor, and I need to be, say, on notice between Christmas and Easter to take what they said as the hand of God Bible, gospel, word of God. She said, do not think they don't know what they're talking about. They would not put the fear of God into you, giving you guys that diagnosis by saying days. And the reason why they say days instead of 5 to 6 years is they want you to understand the severity of the situation and how, you know, how freaking bad it is. And there is nothing. There are no treatments. And thank God we didn't operate, she says, because it just made it worse. The stopping the stuff early, like I did, getting off all the medications to save my kidneys and the liver. She goes, so when you first got the lesions, was the smartest thing you ever did. Uh, so now it's just wait and see. Wait and see. Wait and see what happens. So I think next month I'm going to order the carnivore stuff. They used it on Ronald Reagan. He had a lot of success with this. It's a liquid. It helps kill off cancer cells. And when it can't kill them off because there's so many, what it can do is impede them, and it causes like a traffic jam in your body trying to make a different kind of antibody. Because I'm having trouble taking the antibiotics made me sick. So without being on antibiotics every day all day long, everything's, it can do whatever the hell it wants. It's got nothing trying to slow it down. Yeah, I know. Hey Denise, hey Jim, how you doing? Hello Maddie. Hola. So, we, oh, my butt hurts. I got 2.5 more hours before my stupid Celebrex kicks in. It's getting on my nerves. Ah, man. So, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do, but they're gonna be brainstorming something. So she said that I could do the stationary bike, but the one laying down. Don't do the one sitting up until they get a better look. They're worried about the fractures in the lower back. Don't lift anything heavy. No lifting, no pushing. So lugging around 10 pounds of ice every day, is this such a good idea? She goes, whenever you grab something, she goes, you're going to have to do it with two hands. Oh, and they explained why I feel like I'm walking funny. My, habla español poquito. Yo comprendo mucho. Yeah, but there's just, it's a mess from head to toe. It's even worse when she was rattling off all the stuff. She goes, look at this. Go from here to here to here. Then it stops, and then there's nothing, just nothing. And then right here, wham, 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 wham. And I was like, oh, God. I said, right here, and she's pointing. I said, I have three spaces here, here, and here. What the hell is this? And what the hell is that? There were two tumors, and one is I have bone spurs all over, just everywhere. They're all spread out all over the place. She goes, those are going to hurt most of all. And nose, I'm sorry. There is nothing they can do because they go in and, file them off. Carve sand them down or whatever the hell they do. So that's why we were trying the hydrocodone. It doesn't do much, but it may relax, and there's no muscle relaxers. I cannot take those anymore. I forgot why. She goes, there's a whole list of things you cannot use anymore. Um, I said, okay. She says, one, because it makes the bones disintegrate faster. And if you already have this, and at this stage, she goes, you're at the end. You're at the end of everything. I said, I know. So I said, I'm walking on eggshells, and my feet, my ankle, that was the bad spot. The wrist and the my hip and my lower back. Oh, I'm just wondering how much of the damage. See, freaking Volvo was from my car accident. If there's tissue damage, which most likely there was, especially if it took the guy I was with him almost 4 years, putting me back together again. Um, Trying to get my everything to line up in my spine again. Uh, Wherever there was, say, permanent tissue damage, cancer cells, boom, they move right in and take over. That's so where I have the herniated discs and the dislocated and the fractured and the broken, I had to be half is half of the old damage is from the car accident. The rest is coming from the cancer. And I'm sure coming from, she says, an all military background, you guys spent so much time and so inbred in our DNA. She goes, you have to have horrible osteoporosis in the family. There's no way around it. No way around it. She said, you lived on Army base housing, your whole family's lived on Army base housing. My mother, her brothers, everybody. So just that, she says, you die of cancer before complications from the osteoporosis. It probably doesn't even come up because it would take a back seat to any cancers you would have. And at that point, knowing what was going to happen, what are they going to treat you for? So I kind of threw a test question, a test thought out at her, when we were talking about this. She goes, why so long? I said, I just got here 5 years ago. She goes, and you didn't know until then? I said, we didn't know until 3 years ago, until we had the first DEXA scan done because I was in so much pain. She goes, and no one ever told you to do the supplements or to do anything? I started crying. I said, no, they never said a word. Not all this time, not after my mother died and everybody her age in her group of people, or the responders she was working with, they're all dead. She said that it was despicable because they knew what was going to happen. And at least to just, if they didn't want to give you confirmation, say on the crazy osteoporosis disintegrating our bones from the radiation and the other chemicals, just as a precaution to because you know what I mean. She said they could have thrown it out there and given you first responders a list of shit to take, and they didn't, did they? I said no, nothing to take as a precaution. I said, well, they told us we could take the cerulean blue, but they didn't. Radar, our radiation detectors didn't go off because they weren't on. There was a problem with the system. They were never turned on, so they never went off. And then they weren't sure, and then they said, well, it's too late anyway to start and truly be effective. And then we found out that that was a lie too. We could have been taking it all along, and it would have helped at least absorb some of the heavy metals. Um, so yeah, so all they can do now is to classify me as palliative care. Damn. I was like, that's too soon. No, it's the lights because they're running on these batteries. That's the electricity going through the wires. It's just coming up as a magnetic field. They're not actually blinking when you look at them. The phone is just picking it up like a radio signal. You ever get two TV stations in the winter when it's snowing and you can't? All right, in the old TVs, that's what this is just picking up. These lights won't run on these batteries. It's like a trickle charge. If you use an extension cord that's too long, you get like flickering lights on your Christmas lights outside. But this is just, that's the wave of how the electricity is coming out of the jackeries. And there's no way to stop it. No, it gets worse the farther away because I'm just sitting in a magnetic field. I've tried moving that. I've tried putting it over there. I've got to get the other lights that aren't LED. Because the purple ones did it too. Are they LED? No. See, the other one I never plugged these lights into. I plugged them into the other one, but this won't run that, I don't think. Let's see. I think they both do it. At least if I could try that one. Let me see. Hold on. Trying something out here. I don't think this is gonna work. That works this way. I think it's gonna be too dark. I thought I was getting this solved. Let me see. Might be too dark. Now we're in the dark again. Ah. See, why is it doing that? And the other ones aren't bright enough. Get that done. Get out of there. Okay. So, yeah. See, no matter what I do. So, looking for better lights again. Not LEDs. This is the first time I'm really using this to run the lights. I was using the other batteries last time. And that other guy doesn't think that they will, probably won't charge up again. Those boat batteries. So I gotta figure out where to get rid of those. Get them out of here. Well, tomorrow morning I gotta call and find out if she changed her mind or not. Just forgot. Calling my pills. All I gotta do is send a fax over. I don't even have to talk to them. And then they ended up filling a prescription. When I went to Walgreens, we were going through the thing. I said, I just need my Celebrex and then the hydrocodone when it comes in. She said, okay. I said, what about the the Prilosec. I said, no, I don't need that. If I'm not taking it anymore, do not fill that. Do not fill it. I'm not taking it anymore. You think that means don't fill it? I'm not taking it anymore. She filled the prescription. So when I called and Walgreens, she goes, yes, I got both prescriptions. I'm like, did this girl not even listen to a word I was saying? Like right in front of her, I was in the store. I wanted to choke her when I got there. Children. Maybe they should wait till they graduate high school. No, these are the LEDs. That's what's doing it. I have to go back to the regular light bulbs if I can find them. All I can find is LEDs. I had another 2 sets of lights, but they're stuck in the back and I can't get to them. Right? Isn't it weird? And it's like no matter where you put it, the farther away, the faster it gets. I put it over here, it kind of goes into slow motion a little bit. I don't understand. Oh, I know. They filled stuff. They were filling stuff I hadn't taken in over a year. I'm like, why are you filling this? I didn't ask for it and I returned it. But they're all getting paid on it. That's one of my big issues with Walgreens. They don't listen, especially when you try to remove something from the list. Next thing you know, you get 3 more refills. And I'm like, what are you doing? I can't take it anymore. If I take this, I could die. Oh. I was like, wake up and listen, people, please. Yeah, that's what they were doing to me. That's how that lady got away with that for so long. I don't even know what she was doing with some of these pills. It's not like you could even sell anything she was taking from me. It's either that or she has no health insurance and those are the ones she needed, obviously. Hello, mom of 4 sons. I remember your name. I told you God bless you. Any woman's got more than 2 sons should be granted sainthood. You're welcome. My aunt had 3 sons and my cousin Janet, my lord. Hello, Patricia, how you doing? Hey, Mary, how you doing? Thank you. It was Doctor Day. We're trying not to look like such a schmo. I'm just gonna look for they have in the $5 store the big ring. I can use that. I'll get one of those. I got rid of the fan that had it on. I was looking at the fan. I was gonna keep it just for the light, but that fan is so big. When I got this other battery, that's taking up a lot of room. And I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna move everything into. I gotta get through my dresser drawers over here. And just throw everything out that's in there. And my bed slid. I had to slam on the brakes. When I went to go for the Veterans Day, I had to slam on the brakes. Everything under here slid forward. I'm gonna hunt that guy down. Now I have like this much room to be able to sit and pee. I have to take everything out. It was rainy and crappy today. I used to get yelled at that I dressed like an old lady. My friend Robin. Oh, that's what I wanted. I forgot about the filters. Maybe. Wait, where was the. Wait, wait, wait for it. The bubbles. See, with the bubbles on, you won't be able to see. Like the bubbles. It looks like it's a. See the little disco ball? That's what's doing it. Uh, what does this one do? She used to bust my chops. She goes, "Do you own anything that's stretchy?" She first started working, so she was dating a friend of mine, Joe. Her and her husband had separated for a while, and she was dating a guy I was friends with in high school. What does this one look like? Oh, that's kind of interesting. I'm just trying all the different filters. What the hell is this? You can be beige, black and white. Ooh. Ah, that's scary looking. Whoa. It could look like the old westerns, right? Look like the old black and white westerns. So, I forgot what I was wearing. I don't remember, but I had. I'm always wearing little sweaters because I'm cold. Oh, now how do I go back to where I was? Blue? Okay, this thing sucks. Never mind. All right, go back to the chat. Well, now it won't come off. Never mind, it's stuck there forever. So she was like, so Joe's sitting at the table, and I came in, and I had like a little flat pair of suede loafers on, red, with a green and red checkered lycra spandex sleeveless dress. But I had my sweater, my little sweater on over it. The first words out of her mouth was, "What is with you? You had to ruin it with the sweater? The shoes? Yeah." Like that. I'll fix the shoes. Just give me a minute, okay? Oh, Christ. She goes, "You gotta stop shopping in the LL Bean catalog and hanging out with the politicians." You look like you just came out of Connecticut. I said, "Because we just came from work. What do you expect?" So Joe was goofing on her. He says, "Oh, she's always dressed like that." And I said, "Hey." He's like, "You did, and then you turned into Stevie Nicks, and that was it, and it was over." She goes, "Oh, God, the skirt's to the floor. I can imagine." I know. I used to have to order all my shirts from LL Bean. Father's very tall with very long arms and legs, so my inseams wouldn't fit. So I would have to order from Levi's or from the Gap. And then my mother started uh, going back to LL Bean. So you could get different arm lengths. I'm a petite torso, but my arms are for someone tall. But my body is short. I just got really long legs on a short body, so nothing ever fit me right. And she started ordering all my shirts out of LL Bean. Yeah, I know. He had called in an EpiPen. Well, he didn't. That's how we got this started again. Um, Last month she tried it again, trying to get the EpiPen, and it was denied. She's still trying to put, shit through on my thing, and we've changed the phone number, revamped the whole thing, but because she got that information, she just doing whatever she feels like it. But they refused the EpiPen, or my portion, was it my part of what I was responsible for paying for the EpiPen, I think it was $750. I almost fell on the floor. They're like $1,000. That's insane. Or they are down here. That's crazy. The nebulizer stuff was hard to find after a while. That's why I stopped using it altogether. And it started making me like claustrophobic. I don't like the hot steam. I can't breathe with that. I started fainting in the shower. And it took us about a month to figure out it was the shower. It was the steam in the shower was shutting down my lungs, and just that was it. And down I went. I had to stop taking a shower when no one was home. And then I had to come by every day when my mother couldn't. Then I was going down to her apartment and showering in her house. Because you couldn't take a cold shower in the middle of winter. I don't know why I can't. Oh, well. I don't want to save and highlight it. Can't you just. What the hell is this? I don't want to start a poll. Oh! I'm trying to get rid of the filter thing was still up. I see it. I'm new to this junk. So. So that'll be that for the next 2 weeks. Um, and pretty much, yeah, the only thing they really do for this is surgery. And even if they tried to stick the needle in to take the fluid out of the cysts, it would just fill up again because it's spinal fluid that I'm leaking. So there's no way to stop it. She said, we drain one, and what'll happen is that it'll just make another one right underneath it. She goes, even if you cut it out, the way you're making them, they're just everywhere. So it wouldn't even be worth the surgery of cutting that out. Yeah, that's what the woman at Walgreens told me 2 weeks ago. It was gonna be $798, almost $800. She goes, but that's with the tax included. And I was like, yeah, what? $10 tax? Are you kidding me? And they don't pay also, so you know, Medicare and Medicaid, they don't pay on insulin. They pay for the needles, um, but they do not pay for the insulin. They pay the first, and it's insane. They pay the first, I think it's $2,000 for the year. Each one of those little bottles can run over $1,200 a piece. So those itty bitty little tiny insulin bottles. When I was helping him with his mother when she was dying, uh, damn, that crazy amounts, and you gotta buy for like, what did they buy for 3 weeks? They buy for almost a whole month in advance. Both his parents were taking insulin. His mother had to take two different kinds, one during the day and one at night. So you're buying enough insulin for, say, 3 people, and they only pay for the first $2,000. I couldn't believe how they were even affording just their insulin, not to mention any other medications that were out of pocket. That's crazy. There's no tax on medication? I thought there would be. Oh, wait. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't say because I don't pay. It don't say. You no pay. You no pay. It just has a bunch of zeros. It's probably included in the price of the medication already. Always will be. No. That should do that too. Oh, everything's a mess over here. I think I screwed up something. Hold on. Okay. Oh. Okay. That's good to know. I didn't know that. I thought there would be. The government's not in on all that tax on all the medicine we take. No wonder they're cranky. Oh, here comes the rain again. We finally just got rain after like a month. It's a little here, a little there. Just keep it hot. It got hot, it got humid, and they keep saying it's gonna get cold. Yeah, I know. Yeah, money that can't go on the books, right? If they collected taxes, we'd have better roads on our medicine. Then it'd really be free college for everybody. Just take Start taxing everybody's medication, and then we can send everybody to Harvard for free. They were saying that DeSantis was talking about some tax thing, and that like Canada does an all across the board 23% tax on everything. Uh, and the more luxury items you go up, the tax goes from like 23% up to like 40. It's insane. You can't buy anything expensive like cars or you know what I mean, stuff like that. Oh, I was never sure what paid for what, because we're always taking something from one fund and using it for something else that I never even knew where the original money was supposed to be paid, used to be paid for. Anyway, where'd this money come from? I don't want to know. We had extra money left over from paving the road. Here, get some tires for the bus. Okay. We didn't have to paint all the curbs this year yellow again. Here, fix the air conditioner on the bus. Wow. Wow. Jesus, that is unbelievable. I remember when what the hell did they first come out with? Oh, it was a drug for AIDS that when it it was one of the very first ones that came out. It's like $67,000 a month. A month. And that was one bottle. There were like five. You had to take a cocktail of these things together. How the hell did people pay for this? You tell someone it's 100 grand a month for your medication. Good luck. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was like us. Just give me a little bit of everybody. Take a little out of each envelope and throw it at the senior center. It's like shorting all the bills $20 back in the day. You send the electric bill a check, but it was $20 shy. So at the end of the day, I could throw a little bit to the cable company so they wouldn't turn it off. Oh man, I'm just reading some. Yeah, they did. They pulled that crap with me too. They were withholding a medication from me during the pandemic, and so they were saving it for children. Uh, albuterol. I use that. That's this guy here. This is instead of they take a pill. They crush it up into baby powder and you inhale it into the lungs instead of a pill. I breathe this into my lungs. That's what's in here. They were trying to save my stomach. And they were worried. A lot of stuff. Burns a lot. Oh. What was the other thing I couldn't have either? Oh. Albuterol they were hoarding for the children. One of the other antibiotics. Uh, and then they started taking back the hydrochloroquine already. I had like every single doctor wrote me a prescription for hydrochloroquine. I had, I'm not kidding you, 9 bottles. I had 9 doctors, 9 prescriptions. We had a stockpile of that crap. We were handing it out. It's like, here, take them. I had over 20 bottles. I was getting 8 per month from 8 of the doctors. They said, no, just keep filling it and just hold it. It's going to be a while. Put it away. That's why I was so pissed at the mold in the house. You know how much medication I had stockpiled? Good for you, Teresa. Put that tree up. My whole house is, when I put up the lights for Halloween, I put up the Christmas lights with the Halloween lights, so I just switch out the plugs on November 1st. 4-pack. Jesus. That is freaking crazy. I was trying to find a wreath to put on the car. That's what I was going to do. Yeah, I gotta have to. Whatever Hydra is, it's probably some sort of an anti-inflammatory. I have no idea. It's like a hybrid. So, yeah. They're basically the same. They're all made of the same one. Oh, thank you very much, Jamie. I had a teacher with that last name, Mrs. Vogel. She was nice. She was a good lady. I'm trying to watch this on that thing. So, let's see. I didn't get to see my friend before she left. She's gone for a month. We're still trying to figure out what to do for the next couple of months. Once they start decorating the parks this week, there's going to be a lot of places that are going to be pretty busy. Yeah. Oh, I was so mad because it's already gone. Oh, my air freshener, my Christmas one. I have to go see. Trying to think where to go look for it where it's not going to be $10 a can. It's usually $7, $6.99. But that little tiny can lasts over a year. Um, I had thrown everything into my portable sink that I was throwing out the other day, and I had a bag I threw on the top, and then I was just chucking stuff and clearing this out the other day. And I grabbed it and I dumped it into a dumpster that was like 7 feet tall, so I had to stand on my tippy toes and dump everything in over my head. And I heard a crash that was really, really heavy. For 2 days since I heard the crash, I have no idea what fell. It had to be my brand new heavy can of this because it's gone. And it was right here next to me. So I must have took it and threw it into the front seat with everything else that was over here. I must have made a hole in one and got it in my big bowl over there. I threw it away. I wanted to cry. I ran right back to Dollar General on the way home. Gone. They don't have any more. I have to see if they have it on Amazon. This one was good. Florida. I have to say Florida and New Jersey. Oh, Glade. Cedar and pine. And it was a really nice, I only buy the Glade, and they only put it out. It never lasts. That's it. Once they get their stock in, now it's the 13th, that's it. They will have no more between now and January. That's it. It's over. It's so hard to keep stuff in stock over here. There's just too many people. But I have to look in the other Dollar General and see if they have it there. Oh, there's a lot of Brooklyn. I had family from Brooklyn. I say Florida, but it's Florida and New Jersey. It's the same state. Same families. Everybody in New Jersey has family in Florida, and everybody in Florida has got family in New Jersey. We're basically the same state. Same people. Both my parents are from Florida, and they met in Jersey. And my mother met my stepfather, who's from here, basically the same area, about hour and a half south, and they met in New Jersey. Oh yeah, there's Dollar General, then the Dollar Tree, then Wawa, then Walgreens and CVS, and then Krispy Kreme. they're everywhere. I always laugh when I watch the Canadians and you see the dollar store things, that you see the same stores up there now. They've hit the 20th century. It used to take forever to get anything up there. I remember when Kiss first came out. It was their second album. It was out in America for over a year. I had to mail it to my cousin. He would call and give me a list of bands that they weren't even getting. And they were keeping that out of there. And they were like a year or 2 years behind all kinds of crazy stuff we had down here in high school. I used to mail stuff to them all the time. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. I like the inhaler. This guy is okay. The albuterol. I don't like Asmonex. I was on that one. 3 puffs of this a day. Then I had the pink and blue one, which was Asmonex. I actually have 3 of these. We're down to just this. This is the only one that I really like that does any good. Is the albuterol, and that's the one they're hoarding. The nebulizer is good way to get it in. I just can't take the steam. If I didn't have the mesothelioma part, I could use the steam. That's what's bothering me, was inhaling all the asbestos. Pretty good. How was your day? Here comes the rain. I have to figure out how to get my wires in here, because I realized last night when it was raining I can't close my window. Hey, rare breeds. No. Somebody on a bike. I thought he was walking here. I didn't bother with Facebook anymore. Yeah. Um, they've decided, after looking at everything, they're having a 2-week conference on this. 3 doctors. The surgeon, the osteoporosis specialist, and the blood doctor. My kidneys are not functioning good enough to even consider taking either the shot or the pills that they gave my mom that put her back in the hospital. The ones that grow the bone, that's it. That's out. No way, no how. I said, okay, that's good. Um, Other than that, there's not a lot, there's almost nothing they can do. They're gonna have to come up with some kind of plan, because the deforming of the bones and the disintegrating and losing all the pads, my spine is all screwed up and is being pushed into my stomach forward. Like, if I'm going this way, it's pushing my belly out. Like, I look like a pregnant woman. Okay, walking like with my shoulders back and my stomach out. It's actually twisting. And I said, this is happening like really fast. She says, yes, it is. And that's how it does. I was like, damn. It's like those poor old ladies with the hump on their back, only mine's pushing out. Instead of pushing me over into a hump, it's pushing me the opposite way, like forward. It's like almost hyperextending my back backwards, like if I was leaning over a chair. And they don't know how to help me with that part of it. I didn't even get into that because that'll be the next conversation, which I'm gonna have to use a back brace. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I got this blow up Santa snowman to put in the front seat. I was gonna try tying him to the roof like a, oh, what is it, like that punching bag clown thing. But I don't know if it would stay up too good. Everybody puts all kinds of crazy stuff. Guy had an 8-foot skeleton on his giant pickup. It was the coolest thing ever. It was like coming over the back, like he was climbing over the car like this. And he had, I swear to God, anything goes down here. So he's got like a giant skeleton climbing over the car, and then an arm is like, one arm was like holding on to the driver's window, like he was gonna reach in and grab the driver, and the other one was sticking out forward like this, but the arm was on a tow bar, on a pyramid tow bar up in the air, and he had it tied to that, standing up, and it was like reaching out like 6 feet in front of his car, like it was gonna grab the car in front of him. What if somebody slams on their brakes and that arm goes right through the back of a little car? Did no one think of this? So I was trying to think of what what I could do. I have the jack ray. I could put Christmas lights on the outside and plug them in. I could light up the whole car. Oh, I thought I needed my electricity though. Wait, let me put that on pause for a minute. Get down. No, get off. I'm trying to do that. I forgot it's supposed to rain again tomorrow. And be cloudy. I only have 70%. And this is running my lights. And I think so far, I think one more round of glue traps. I think I'll be good to go. Oh yeah. This is Christmas light capital of the world. Everything is just always Christmas lights down here, you know? They're not that bright. They light up just enough room, and they're not too bright for, the turtles and everybody else. Worried about them. I feel sorry for the turtles, but they just get eaten and run over by the boats anyway. What's the difference? Everybody snatches them and takes them home. Happily without the snow, right? Of course. All the thrills. It was hard the first 2 years. I forgot how funny it felt to be here without the snow and the heat and stuff. I was in the store yesterday and I had to get out. It was depressing. I went into Home Depot. I didn't even want to get my knob for my little chest over here. I know. I had my artificial palm tree. It was like a Christmas tree, That thing was almost, what was it, 6 feet, 7 foot? I think it was 7 foot tall. No, it must have been 8 feet tall. My palm tree on the deck of Richard's trailer. If you saw those pictures I put up of the trailer, that was my palm tree. I went with, was that with his dad? There was another one before that. And I had went with his father shopping to get something for him. I think it was for his birthday. And I found that. And I was like, oh no, this is going to be Merry Christmas to me. I'm going to stay up there for 4 months by myself. I need my palm tree. And we used to decorate it for all the holidays, 4th of July, different stuffs. Yeah, fucking right. I was looking at all that stuff. I had so much stuff for the house. I started crying. I got depressed. I had to leave the store. I just bought all that stuff. All the blow up, you know, lawn guys, the 20-foot tall balloons. All that house was surrounded. I was trying to see, I was like, what could I do on the van? And I said, well, yeah, without stuff flying off into somebody else's windshield, maybe. I gotta check my tie downs and see if my rain is running down the wires into the van. So somehow I gotta figure that out. I forgot to unhook the panel. It says everything is waterproof, but I didn't want those connections getting water inside those kooky plugs. You can never tell what's wet and what's not. I don't want to short it out. Everything's been working so well. We have like misty rain. For a while, I've been sitting here for like 3 hours watching it rain across the street, and it just starting to pity pat over here. It was like just a steady mist. It looked like they had those spray fans on with the water coming down. It was just coming straight down. But it wasn't raining over here. Now it's just starting. We had a little bit for about an hour last night. Hopefully that's all there was, or I'll find out if I gotta check and see if the back got wet again. But it's just like a half hour here, 20 minutes. Teeny tiny itty bitty showers. It's getting loud again over here tonight. My little spot is becoming quite popular. It's like I went to come back the other night. I forget where I went. Oh, I went to the store. I forgot to get water. So I ran over to Publix before they closed. It must have been 9:30, 10 o'clock. I ran in to go get water, and when I came back, there was like no room. There was no room. Yeah, right? It's funny. It'll rain all the way around you, but not where you are. It's like you're stuck in a circle where there's no rain. It's the weirdest thing. It's It's like you're sitting in the eye of a hurricane during the summer. Oh, I love that. Oh, that was next. I wanted to do something on the roof. I hadn't decided. I had lights everywhere. On the floor, on the they just that whole house was there's so this they're still probably taking lights down over there. They were I had them intertwined in the rose bush, and then as the rose bush was growing, I wrapped lights around the rose bush vine, and there's just lights everywhere. On every bush, every tree, every plant, all kinds, high and low. Gonna drive them nuts. Ha ha. There was no getting them out. I had to cut one set out. We were trimming the bushes, and the bush grew over it, and just there was no getting back this whole strand of lights. It was like one of those bush ones. And then finally he's like, look, I'm just cutting it through. Buy a new bush, okay? Buy new lights. Forget it. You left it on too long. It just grew right through it, and there was no getting it off. After that, I stopped doing that, and I would just outline everything instead of using all those. Um, wait, just so it was a little depressing walking through all my Grinch stuff. I actually think I have my icicle lights. I bought really expensive ones, really nice ones too, and I think I took them. I don't remember what I had in the storage and what I have down underneath. I have no idea. And they made all different colors, those ones. I forgot where I got them. They turned blue, then they turned purple, they turned all different colors, and then they had different patterns. There was only like 10 of them, but they were heavy, they were huge, like this. Giant icicles. They were pretty. I just don't know if these would even be strong enough to turn them on. I need one more Jackery just for Christmas lights. Oh man, I have no idea. Eventually, I'm gonna have to go to the other park and grab a camping spot for a couple of days and dump out the bed again. I gotta start looking for another tent. I had to get rid of all the tents, went moldy. I have to see, but it's filling up. I was gonna go online and see if they had any openings for this week. Check out the Goodwill, see if I find something. Well, if I stay local down here, I need a tent for, well, this park doesn't have any. Our campgrounds are pretty much no reservations until like the 20th of January. I'd have to check with the other state park. It's like an hour away. But I still got that stupid smell keeps coming back. Oh, it's madness. I was like, well, what happened? It's like overnight. What, did people come a month early for Thanksgiving? We don't get it not until next week. At least a little closer to Thanksgiving, around the 20th, people start showing up, you know? Maybe it was just too hot to even bother coming down here this summer. Everybody waited and saved their vacation for the winter. They don't want to freeze to death. And their electric cars. Oh, I know, every day. That's why I don't want to be going down to this doctor. It's freaking me out. I gotta go near this one place where every single day I had left early. Something kept telling me, leave early, leave early, leave early. I was like, all right, I'm going. And I kept waiting and I was stalling because I'd heard the accident on the radio. But in the same sense, I'm being harassed. Like, you gotta go now. And I'm like, if I go now, I'm gonna drive right in. Thank God I left when I did. Hey, 45 minutes at one traffic light. Finally, another half hour later, now it's 9 o'clock. I got an hour and I'm still 25 minutes away, but nothing is moving. I had to go all the way back into 95, halfway through the middle of the state, to get around this one spot to go all the way back, right back where I was starting from again. It took me another 35 minutes to go around in a great big circle just to get around this one street. The roads down here are nuts. They're just nuts. But the accidents have been just crazy. Crazy. See? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's about what it took me, 45 minutes to go like 2 traffic lights to get off to make the 40-minute detour around. The detour was all ridiculous. That was the one thing he hated. He said, these detours. He said, they take you to a street that just ends. That just ends. Or halfway through the street, it gets a new name. What is that? I said, yeah, those are fun. Well, all of a sudden you're driving and the street name changes. It's like, wait, what's going on? Where are we now? We didn't turn. Did I miss a bend in the road? But it is crazy. Crazy, crazy. The stores are mobbed. There's no parking. And I hate to be mean, but go home. Right? Nobody was ever hanging out here. Never. Not even down there by the Jensen Beach. That's become like Orlando. I can't believe that many people are hanging out down there. It was bad. It was like Daytona. And that's as local as you're gonna get, is where I am. And where we were. That's why I was showing her other parts down there. I said, right now you're in tourist town. You don't want to be here. You want to be over here. Well, gas is like $1.50 cheaper on the other side of the bridge. But, yeah. I don't know what everybody's doing. But get ready for Christmas because stupid Elon Musk is having a Christmas Eve launch. Has it been crowded enough? You gotta pull this shit and shoot rockets off on Christmas Eve? Thanks, jerk. Thank you so much. I'll have to leave 2 days before Christmas Eve to even get near that place because people are going to be there for like a week camping out. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, everyone. Every building every little condo or building they put up, there's a storage place goes with it. And what were they talking about today? Was Oregon? Oregon was trying to pass a law about sleeping out in public. That's why Florida got so inundated. And New York and New Jersey. It's not against the law to be homeless. They can't arrest you just because you got no place to live. They can't. It's okay, Karen. So they just had to reinforce, like, you know, it's a right in the Constitution that they can't do that to you. I was laughing, so all it did was backfire in their face. You know how many tickets and how many fines of money they're going to have to give back for what they were doing? They were giving you tickets and fines, like trespassing fines. Well, now those are illegal. So I guarantee you they're going to have to reimburse somebody. It's going to go get a lawyer and everybody get their money back. They always do. Ow. Okay, it's funny sometimes. Karen's on. Oh, don't make me have to close the windows. I don't want to do that. Just starting to cool off. Now it's gonna rain. I thought I had all my lights on. I don't waste all the batteries. But what were we talking about? Nothing. That's it. I was trying to think of something else. So that'll be that for a while. There'll be no news for 2 weeks. I said, you can keep your bad, shitty news to yourself. Give me my pills. See you in 2 weeks. They couldn't even get that done. Oh. Yeah, meds in storage. That's right. Just give me my medication in a storage unit. I'll be fine. I was looking at one of the guys had a longer trailer behind, like putting all his shit on it, pulling it behind him. And I thought, you get one of those itty bitty little sheds that has a little front porch on it, like the dollhouse, the club, kitty playhouse looking ones. Just gonna put it on the back of a pull thing to see if somebody's got an old one that they're using for the ride-on lawnmower. Just pull the little shed behind you. I should have bought that one. I was stupid. Everything was already half in it. It was a catering truck. It was the food truck trailer. One of the long ones, like the long black rectangle ones. It was already painted and stuff too. It was really cute. It had the sink and places to cook, had everything in it. Could have slept in the car and just left everything else in there. And brought my own storage unit with me. That one guy was such a jerk. I had mine. And then, although he did save me money. And he had to give it back. So he kind of did me a favor being an ass about it all. No. Yes, that was my big thing. Was attracting bugs into the food. Yes. That was part of the reason why I didn't want to. And then I wasn't sure that I really wanted to tow anything behind the car. We had a bad thing with his father was towing a thing. The whole thing let loose and just passed us by. We almost had an accident with his own trailer breaking loose and passing us up. And cursing out his own trailer. That was the funniest part. He's cursing and giving the finger out the window. It's like, meanwhile, we're looking in the back. Now, all of a sudden, we can see out the back window. I said, well, look at that. He's like, what? I said, look out the back window. And he's like, oh, shit. I said, there we go. He's like, Pop, fuck you. And he's over there yelling, cursing. Sticking his finger out the window. He says, Pop, stop cursing at the guy. He says, why? He's not going to, oh, look at it. Oh, tough guy. He's going to pull over right in front of me and cut me off. I hit the brakes. His own trailer ended up cutting him off and slowed down because it was skidding and stopped in front of him, and he pulled over to get out to yell at the guy for cutting him off and then said, holy shit. That's my trailer. I was like, you're cursing and yelling. There's nobody there. You're cursing at your own shit in suitcases passing you up. But how lucky he was that the road curved and was pitched that it just went right off into the shoulder. He just pulled around the front. They all got out, put it back on, and off they went. He dropped me off at my grandma's and kept going. I said, thanks for the ride. I took a ride down. He was coming down here to get his kids. And I said, can you drop me off? And he said, yeah, come for the ride. I said, thank you. That was some ride. Yeah, those are nice. I was looking at some of them even before I found this. I was looking around. There were some other bigger things. The problem was, it was just gas. It was gas. The only things I could find that were big were diesel, and I was not paying diesel prices. And the other ones, too big, too much gas, too much gas. This cost $100 to fill it up. I'd never be able to fill up one of those other vans. I see how much just the Ford Eco line with the extended base is. Jeez. They're paying anywhere probably up to $150 for a tank of gas. Oh, and those don't get good gas mileage either, not like this thing. This thing gets the gas mileage of a Honda Fit for the size of an Escalade. And we have the same length as an Escalade. Only an Escalade, the only difference between this and the Escalade is that the Escalade is wider, probably by almost 8 inches. 4 on each side, say. Because even the smaller Sprinter van, that's a big gas tank in there. There's like 29-gallon tank. That's a lot to fill up. And some of those other vans have reserve tanks on them too. And I was like, there's no way I could even afford that. I was looking for an Escalade in some of the older conversion vans that they used to do with the Ford ones. Make them longer and taller. The original Sprinter van. Those things weigh a ton. The car itself is 10,000 pounds with nothing in it. So now you're pulling, you figure you're going to put at least 2,000 pounds. Now you're looking at 15,000 pounds, A, of car, B, trying to stop it. God forbid someone cuts you off, you're just running them over. And I was like, I don't want something that's too heavy, too big. You know, I've driven a big bus. That's no joke. No joke. It's easier to probably drive a tractor trailer than a bus full of people, than a transit bus. It's too heavy. Too heavy. Yeah. That was the thing around here too, with now Walmart kicking everybody out. I've noticed that a lot of the RV people have left. There's not so many in the park. It's mostly people in cars now. There's only 2 people who now got kicked out of the park, who were in their big giant tour bus with their Jeep and their motorcycles, and now they have all that crap. They've been in there for 6 months, and now that's it. They're all out. The park, when I went by the beach the other day, that was crowded. It was like, damn, all these quiet little places are now overrun. There's no more reservations. And without having that from now till January, these parking lots are going to fill up, and they are going to fill up faster than anybody